what I'm liking about this car is you've got. It feels like it's a control arm front suspension or a wishbone front suspension, not a strut. Is that correct?
I'd have to.
We can peek when we get.
Actually, wait.
When we park, I'll take a peek. But it feels like it's a control arm front, which I like more than a strut front end. And then you've got the rear wheel steering, which gives you that little tweak into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, instead of like it has a much nicer tone than a 330i would, right? Like a 4-cylinder BMW. But it has like the ferocity and more like a M340i would, right? So you get like the punch and the shove with a nicer engine note than you would from BMW's 4-cylinder cars, but you get that light note, the light front end of the car makes it like very agile. Like, when you showed up to my place to pick me up, and you were talking about like, I really like the way like good corners of those two corners.
Well, because I've always felt like AMG was like it. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the way I always interpreted it, what an AMG was like the Hammer.
Right. A lot of power
it's like the Dodge. It's like the Hellcat of German brands. It's all about straight shooting. But
exactly.
That's why when I read about this car and I read early pre-release reviews, and they were talking about how the car handled and how well it handled, and I was like, isn't that what BMW's core company is supposed to be? So I was a little surprised, like Mercedes and AMG handling really well. And that was actually where my curiosity first started with the car. It's like, wait, like I've always liked the AMG, but I've always like felt like its handling comes second class to a BMW, which is what always kept me from wanting to drive one or buy one.
Yeah, this definitely feels like.
Is this now? If you were not blindfolded, dear God. If you were like, if I drove
badge
up
blindfold, right?
Badge, yeah. If I showed up with this C43, you have no knowledge that it shifted over to the 4-cylinder with this whole setup, and you drove it, knowing what W205 was with the V6. Like, how does this feel immediately obvious like an i4 or not? Like, what would you like? How would you describe it?
Does it feel immediately obvious?
Does it feel like a turbo? Like does it feel like a Turbo 4 or?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like a Turbo 4 at all. Actually, it feels like a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with
an A4,
a naturally aspirated inline 4 with a hybrid pack installed in line with the transmission. So like it's got electric boost.
Right.
Because it feels, you don't get the engine note of a